global brand products like Metapricer and Metapricer, which other markets have you seen that kind of achieve traction? Where have you seen that having, limited? I mean, how has that take-up been of those kind of products?
There were products specifically developed in the case of Metapricer for the online travel agents, and in the case of Metapricer for the meta search companies,
right.
And with different objectives. Metapricer to be able to search many different options in pretty quick time and come back with a good range of choice, more than 200 choices for an online travel agent to then present. So that product's basically followed the online travel agent. So obviously all across Europe, in Asia, it's in all the markets in Asia. Obviously we've introduced it to the Indian market. We've been working there for a couple of years with it. The US market, we have it, and we're tuning it more and more for the US market right now. Meta Search, Metapricer, we basically developed that product to do the same, but also to do it without hitting the airline systems, because what was happening is there was tension between the Meta Search companies and the airlines, because it was costing a fortune. So what we did is we developed this product to be able to do that efficiently. So it really did facilitate a better relationship, and that's followed Meta Search. So we've got that operating here in the US with some of our customers here, and obviously in the UK is a big market for that as well. But that's a product that we could introduce anywhere. And
when I was in Taiwan speaking at a conference, one of the products that you acquired, a company you acquired in Germany, which was around experiences and
Traveltainment.
Yes, Traveltainment. But in that presentation, it's still early days. I mean, has that product moved ahead?
So what Traveltainment is, it's a really neat way of selling tours online. So in Germany, all the large online travel agents and even the big tour operators use this product. So Expedia use it, and Thomas Cook and TUI and all the other, Travelocity or Last Minute as it is in Germany. So they all use that product to sell tours, package tours online. And what they've done is, which is really clever, is they basically got a really neat way. It's called fuzzy search, and it's basically enabling people to search how consumers think. So instead of you just searching by to and from and where you want to go to and dates you want to go, you can search by beach, by events, by sporting, by temperature, by water temperature. So you can basically search for your leisure experience. So that's what they've done that's really interesting. Now what we had to do was take that outside of Germany and internationalize it. So we've done two things with that. The first thing we've done is we've done that. So we started working in the UK, in France, and here in the US. We're starting to work with some customers here as well. And it will be rolled out gradually across more and more countries following the demand. But secondly, what else we've done is we've also sort of copied the idea in a way with the GDS. So one of the things that we're sort of launching is what we call the I don't know what the official name is. We call it crazy shopping, because you can shop by any sort of parameter. And what basically it does is it has that same capability. We've taken everything in the GDS, the 2 billion fares a day we upload. We've taken everything and we've tagged it by beach or by golf destinations, so that horizontally we're going to enable search. A paradigm shift in search, I believe, during next year. So we start in Q2 with some airlines for the airline websites, and we're looking for a travel agency launch customer right now to work with to make sure we get something that's workable. And it has to be global, it has to be scalable, and most importantly it has to be in Google time, which is what we're working on. So less than half a second, 0.3 of a second or something like this.
So how much of time do you spend in this kind of product development? I mean, your bandwidth is like you're managing a global portfolio, right? You're heading the business in that sense.
Yes.
So how much of time is in sales? How much of time is in products and the team and the tech team?
It depends on the market segment in a way, but for the online travel agents and for meta search companies, it's all about the technology. They have to have technology that enables them to appeal to a consumer, budget-based travel or whatever it is. So we spend a lot of time on working with the customers to make sure that we can see what's coming in the future, we can develop the products, etc. Because it takes us a long time to develop these products. When you're making them global and scalable, it's very different from if you're just making them for one particular segment or for one particular market. So it does take us a while. So we try to get as much as possible insights, which is why we come to conferences like this. We get to get insights into what people are going to be trying to build businesses around and what people are going to try and do in the future, so that because there's not normally a GDS behind everything in terms of air particularly.
Right.
So we have to be ready to support those business models.
And in Europe, I just wanted some peculiar highlights from like the Nordic region or from Germany, which strikes you that's different. Like Europe is also just a lot of different, like you power a lot of the systems, but I'm talking from inventory. Like Sweden, rail is important.
Yes.
And different kinds of players. There's Wire Travel, and they've launched. So each market. Is there something that you would that strikes out about the Nordic region, for instance?
Okay. Well, I think in terms of globality, I was listening to Sabre today saying they were in 59 countries, and I was thinking, God, how can they be in so few countries? We're in 217 countries. I didn't realise it was such a big difference. So once you're working in 217 countries, you realise, there are obviously a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of differences. Sweden, it would be rail. Yeah. It would be season passes, like that you buy up front for airlines. It would be probably they're very much more technically advanced. We always used to call them e-Vikings. The sort of they were much ahead of the curve in terms of the internet and use of mobile technology, etc. So they are very, very much at the forefront of using technology and very entrepreneurial as well. So you do find a lot of innovation in the Swedish market. So that's good, and it keeps us very much on our toes. Obviously, Germany is a huge tour market, and you don't even have tours here in the US in the same way that you do in Europe. You don't. You've got these huge companies that pre-package huge amounts of tours. They have tens and tens of millions.
And a lot of that doesn't even happen through your system, right? Or a lot of that is happening through their own careers.
Well, we actually have a system in Germany which does that. It's not something that is globally that we do globally.
It's specific.
But for Germany, we built the system to enable all of the tour sales in Germany, and then we bought Traveltainment, which enables all the tour sales online. And also dynamic packaging, proper, not dynamic packaging in real dynamic packaging. By activity or by attribute.
And in the France market, is that something which you've seen any
rail?
innovative?
More rail than air. So
but is SNCF on Amadeus?
Yes. So one of the things when you go to France is you have to have rail, and you have to have air and rail together, so you can look at all the options. You have to have Eurostar, because if you're going from Paris to London, you need to be able to sell Eurostar. And we've just started with a dual display where you have the flight and Eurostar, so that you can actually see all that as though it was a flight, really, so you can see all that together. And
just your mandate is global, right? You look after the business, right? So how much of bandwidth that you get different countries? Like, is it like is Europe like 50% of your time, America, Asia 25%?
I would say actually.
And how much do you travel? Like how many?
Well, obviously lots of travel, and we have teams of people in different parts of the world with a global perspective as well. So we have some really good people. So obviously I don't have to do it all. But I would say the reverse. In my case, I spend much more time focusing and thinking about the US or the Americas and Asia.
Right. Okay.
Because that's really where we've
your market expansion.
We've got lots of opportunity in terms of market expansion. We've got lots of fragmentation. Asia is you think Europe's fragmented until you go to Asia, and then you realise that it is truly fragmented. So we've again had to invest in really understanding all the different markets, etc. And then you've got the US, which is not as fragmented, but is just huge and established, and has got very established players, and it's quite highly consolidated. So there's a lot of focus on how we Amadeus can play an increasingly relevant role in US, in the travel industry in the US, outside of meta-search and online, but also with TMCs. So, looking at what it is that are the problems and what technology we need to develop. Less of a GDS sort of push, more of a technology push. What is it we need to develop for this market?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I enjoyed it.